Fishes!
So, welcome to the... I'll start again. So, yeah. Welcome to a Ryan Kruger Thing.
Oh,
Don't know about that name.
no, it's a working title.
It's a working title.
But also, can I just say...
It wasn't my idea, actually.
Was it his?
It was Mr. Sound Guys over there.
I just want to say before we begin that I really love your podcast voice. It's very sultry. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's the stuff nightmares are made of.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, so, as I said, with this podcast, whatever you want to call it, Conversations with Ryan, is that, you know, it's just talking to your mates.
Yeah, I was going to say,
You know,
it's basically
like
everything we chat about on WhatsApp, except we're recording it.
Yeah, exactly. But we know the meaning behind it.
Yeah. Are we allowed to say WhatsApp? Because I feel like that's a little sponsor drop.
But yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where I'm also like, I do care what you do next, but it's not about that. So you know when people do things and they go, I've got this book, it's about to come out.
Oh, well, that's a pity because...
Or I'm just doing this. So, you know, it's just about like good conversations with friends about film, not about film, mixture.
About life, because life imitates art.
Yeah, man.
And it shouldn't be the other way around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. I love it.
Life.
Love that journey.
Cool. So, what was Suraya like growing up? Like, what was your... You know?
So young Suraya, inner child Suraya, is actually quite a sad story because I grew up in a very tough circumstances. I was bullied at school and had a bit of an alcoholic and drug addict father. So I didn't really have a sanctuary anyway, apart from my imagination, hence why I come with multiple voices. School was really tough because here's the thing.
Sorry, the reason why we spoke about this. So it's like, you know, you told me stuff and I thought, you know, when we chatted about it, we thought, you know, it's good to talk about these things,
it's so good, and it's also so empowering because you also, the older you get, you learn that you can talk about a past or a history that you have that isn't the happiest and not feel bad. Like, I don't know why growing up I was always so embarrassed to admit like I was bullied or I went through
like
shit.
When you look back into your past, you know, there is people that hold on to shit, and then there's other people that be like, yeah, that was back then. I'm not like that anymore, or that made me who I am today.
So yes, I always say every heartbreak or my circumstances growing up gave me everything I need in my acting toolbox and to be a good human. Because realistically, and jokes aside, am I not one of the kindest people you've ever met?
Yeah.
No, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
so
you are kind.
Your paycheck is going to be revoked this week.
No, but yes.
It's that thing of like you always treat people with kindness because you don't know what they're going through, and that's one of the biggest lessons I ever learned growing up.
Yeah, I think that's always the thing with. You never know what people are going through.
Yeah.
You fucking never know.
Yeah.
And even, like the one time I was depressed, you know, it's fucking easy to put on a smiley face, and everybody just thinks, oh, he's all right. And it's only those few people that you'll reach out to and you know, and say those certain things. But
it's also it's hard to ask for help.
Yeah. No, it is.
It's very, very
hard.
hard.
And then you'll have that circle of friends or the very few people that you will actually open up to, and then later on it's easier. Like now, it's easier to talk about because it's been and gone.
Yeah,
and you've learned from it.
It's like taking the power away of something that hurt you for years as well.
Yeah. So anyway, carry on. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So basically, I had I like to call it my own personal hell, and something that got me through is always thinking about people having it worse. I know that's terrible, but I'm just like, I need to be grateful. I have a roof over my head. I do have a loving mom, and I have the ability to still love. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always try to kill every bad thing that ever happened to me with love, and being just super kind. But I also understood at a young age being bullied by other kids, knowing that, like, this is, you guys are bullying me. It's just words and stuff. And yeah, sometimes occasionally I would get like the trash can emptied out of me because I was really overweight and stuff. And I always used to think to myself, going, wow, you guys think this is bad, what you're doing to me. Come and spend a day with me at home and I'll show you what bad is. But also, I realized that my mom was going through so much at home and she was trying the best that she could. So as a result, I never told her. She would ask me every day after school, how was school today?
It was good.
And I was like, oh, it was great. I can't wait for tomorrow. Oh, this and that. And that's when I feel like I started acting at a young age because I would put on that performance for my mom. You know, I would be like,
But
oh
that's
my
fucking
gosh.
horrible.
I
You
know,
that's
but
horrible.
look where it got me.
Yeah.
It was a rehearsal, babe. Where it was that thing where I was like, oh no, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. And, you know, just making it a light, pleasant conversation. But one day she found one of my books and it had horrible names written in it because sometimes boys used to steal my books and write what they really thought of me. And she found it and she's like, I'm coming into the school and this and this and this and this. And I was like, Mom, please let me fight my own battles. And it's just like things are bad now. Can you imagine if you come in?
Yeah.
It's
almost,
gonna.
it's
I'm
almost you
gonna.
don't want it to explode, makes
Yeah.
everything like worse. But then, you know, when you said that, like, you know, what's going on at home compared to you were getting bullied. So what was that?
So it was a lot of emotional and physical abuse, mostly happening to my mom that I had to witness from a young age. But here's the thing, guys. So when you're born into a home like that, you don't always know what's right and wrong because you've never seen anything else. So I was always like, oh, okay, that's normal.
So how old were you?
I was born into it, basically. You know, one of my first.
Well, that's all you
memories.
know.
Yeah,
the
that's
thing.
all I knew.
That's all you know.
But it's now being a 30-year-old woman how I kind of take back, because it is that thing, and I'm going to be real. It's growing up in an abusive home, you would kind of look for abusive partners constantly. And if you didn't find an abusive partner, you would coach it out of them. Yeah. Is it me? Am I the drama?
Such a bitch.
I am the drama. So jokes aside, it was that. But I realized something amazing in how to take that power back. I fell in love with martial arts. So from Muay Thai to Jiu-Jitsu, it's kind of getting a toxic kink trait out of my system. I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel so fulfilled afterwards. You know, just that impulse of fighting for your life, essentially. It's a weird, comforting, nostalgic space, but at the same time, I get to take my power back and I'm no longer a victim, because I hate the thing of people going, you're a gender-based violence victim. And I'm like, no, I'm a survivor. But also the survivor term makes me feel strange as well, because I loved my dad. You know, he was just battling addiction. And I feel like addiction is a disease on its own, but people don't always feel sorry for those people because it's their choice. But they're fighting their own demons. And at a young age, I realized that, because when he was sober, he was the best fucking dad. And he taught me everything. I became an actress to get my dad's approval, realistically. Are you crying?
No. I'm listening.
Just
I'm
cry
listening.
now. I'm just kidding.
So, you know, it's crazy. Like, I know what you mean, but like when you say, you know, you loved your dad, but then your dad was also like abusive and shit like that. So there was like, you know, there was two sides. But, you know, you either look at it and forgive him for those things, or maybe not forgive him. But what I'm saying is, it's that weird balance of, oh, he's my dad, I love him, he taught me so much, but he also did this.
Yeah, but it's also that thing of like, you know, a villain is just a victim whose story hasn't been told. So I very much was born into my dad's villain era. But obviously he was going through his own things, which is very sad. We never got to figure out what.
Yeah. I mean, did your dad go through shit like when he was growing up with his dad?
I mean, I don't know. I think it was a very different time. My dad was Indian, Muslim Indian, and my mom is Caucasian Portuguese, and they got married during the time of apartheid. And I feel like he couldn't be his true self because of maybe the community and upbringing he had. I do think he was incredibly intelligent. And you know, they say with intelligence comes a bit of insanity. So I think he drove himself crazy over the pressure he put on himself to want to support the family, want the best for the family. But also he allowed his own inner voice and demons to get to him, that he's not worth it or something. And the reason why I say this is because I kind of feel I have that inner voice, that little self-doubt voice. It's a bit louder than everything else should be. I'm like, oh, that's a gift from daddy.
So like, so when you were in school, like primary school or like high school, so when you, with your bullying, was that in like high school as well?
So it started in so realistically it started when I started gaining weight. Puberty was not kind to me. When I started gaining weight, and then it continued in high school. It was worse, I would say, between grade 7 to 8, which is what, primary school going on to high school.
Yeah. So what, you're like 13 or so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with
Yeah,
what
it
age I was.
yeah,
Like I repeated grade 6, so I don't know how old I was.
Yeah, because I always thought, like, so when I was growing up in school, I didn't get bullied, but you know, you would always see like you would always see like some kids getting bullied, and then you would stop it. Well, I would stop it sometimes, but I always thought it was like, oh, just fucking leave him alone, because it was always some dickhead, kicking off on some small little dude or whatever because he looks different or whatever. But like, yeah, in like primary school and in like high school, so I was like the alternative kid. So I was I had my like long blonde hair, and I mean, in England, everybody's got like short back and sides or whatever. But I mean,
Yeah, in a bruv.
in a bruv. But at the same time, so I hung out with like the cool kids, but those people that I used to hang out with, they never spoke to anybody else. So I was the only one in that gang which spoke to everybody, all the different people.
Oh,
so
that's sweet.
So I was that guy.
You were like the mayor.
Yeah, so I was like the mayor. So I spoke to the nerds. I spoke to everybody.
Yeah.
I spoke to everybody because, I don't know. I guess I was just that kid that, I found like lots of people interesting, and I was into probably more stuff that they were into. I mean, I was a fucking weird kid. I would like, I would, growing up watching all the movies that I've watched, or, I'll have my fucking Walkman or whatever, and I would be listening to like fucking Vangelis or like Enigma or like this 80s music. So I was fucking weird, and I was like a little Trekkie fan. So, but I like fucking, but I liked like everything. There was like so much like TV and film that I consumed that I fucking loved. So, it was a very broad range of stuff that I was into, and I think that also kind of makes you, I don't know, I guess like alternative in a way that it's like music. Like I listen to whatever music, and then there'll always be a certain music where I'm like, yeah, no, that's what they listen to, or that that's definitely not for me, or that's like
commercial.
That's like either commercial or that's just like fucking drug music like that, straight up. Yeah. So, but so I spoke to everybody. So it was always like interesting thing to see.
So I became that person. Let's put it this way, because at some point, even at an old age or a young age, you can only take so much. And my way of developing, well, rather coping through it, was to develop a sense of humor. So it's weird because once you become, I mean, if it's scripted.
So no, she hasn't.
Yeah, because the character arc always falls flat.
This is why I always say to you, because of the model, and I see you embarrassed now. The model, I'm like, because you're a really good actress, and I know.
I'm so glad we got that on video.
But I always joke with you, going, you're a model. Model first.
No, this is how it goes.
Actor second.
Suraya, you're not bad for a model.
You're not bad for a model.
But it's also like your sentences have punctuation. It makes me feel uncomfortable the way you say it. Even when you just send a voice.
Like for a model.
You see what I'm saying? That's punctuation. It's weird.
Yeah.
But when I say, like, I got a sense of humor to deal with it, because, all the best senses of humor comes from trauma. But now it's weird because they wanted to bully me, but they actually liked having me around because I would make them laugh.
So when was that moment where you're like, oh my God?
I was definitely in high school.
I'm one of the cool kids all of a
sudden.
Yeah,
it was definitely.
So what was that moment?
I think it happened the moment. So we had like a little code at school when you were smoking behind the bunkers, which is chips. bear in mind I was very overweight. I had a bit of an eating problem. So when the one kid yelled chips, Suraya takes a drag of a cigarette and goes, no thanks, I just had. Carries on smoking. The teacher comes around the corner, busted. So now we're standing there eye to eye.
So you're saying you became the cool kid because he was like smoking?
No, wait for it.
Okay.
It's not, I'm not promoting smoking in this video whatsoever, but it's the moment that happened because the teacher comes around the corner and busted smoking. I did get like a bit of a jolt, but now we're staring eye to eye. And I'm like, in my mind, I was already caught smoking. Why should I kill it now? The stuff is expensive. I spent
you've already been caught.
Like, my granny only gave me R5 a week, you know, like this was my last R5 that I used to buy the cigarettes.
This is the shit that I feel like when you go to the airport and you've just bought like a drink, and then you go through and they go, oh yeah, you can't take that through, and I'm like, what? I can't go through this fucking square.
But I had to buy one there.
Yeah, and I have to buy one there. Like I just fucking bought.
I would down it.
Like I just fucking down.
Yeah, entirely.
Yeah. Imagine going through that and you got a bottle of whiskey. So like, there's no fucking way. Because they take that shit home and they fucking drink it. They fucking share it a part of the stuff. Like there's no way.
I doubt it.
I'm fucking telling you now.
There's
They fucking do
everywhere.
that.
I doubt
it's like
it.
Christmas fucking bonus for all the people that work there.
All the creams I've lost in airports. That's a story for another podcast. So yeah, anyway, so the teacher comes around the corner. I'm caught smoking everything. We have like a lock of, eye to eye, kind of a staring battle. So now she's obviously waiting for me to kill the cigarette to reprimand me, but I'm waiting for her to now tell me what's going to happen. See, bullying and the trauma at home made me strong because at this point I'm not scared of a teacher, which is terrible, but I'm also like, okay, cool, let's have a conversation about this. And then she's like, kill it. And I'm like, no. This is not encouraging people to be rude to teachers. I was just like, at this point, I've had enough in life. So I'm just like, just let me have this.
Yeah, that's why you're having a fucking smoke.
Yeah, that's why I'm having a ciggy. Right? Just let me have this moment. And she's like, come with me to the principal's office. I'm like, okay. And I walked from, it wasn't that far. It was like maybe 3 classrooms away to the principal's office. But I killed the cigarette outside. And I still remember passing through. All my bullies and everyone were just like,
she's so cool.
Yeah, oh my gosh, she's actually crazy. Like, kind of a thing. So I don't know if they kept me around because they thought I was funny or if I was crazy because you have to have a bit of...
So your street cred went up, basically.
Yeah, I like to stand up to a teacher like that and just be like, well, let's go, kind of a thing.
I got away with a lot of shit, I think, in school. I don't know. I think the amount of times that shit popped up or whatever, it's like, it's like when it comes to bullying, like, like my dad always said, like, if somebody hits you, you fucking hit them back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the teachers will go, no, we won't do any of that. We'll, go straight to the teacher or whatever. And my dad's like, no, like if a fucking kid hits you, you fucking hit them back.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like if somebody hit me, I'll fucking, hit them back.
But it's frustrating, right? Because sometimes they don't throw the first punch. And then you're just like, come on, I've been waiting.
Yeah.
I've been doing 3 pull-ups for this.
Yeah. So like when I got into trouble, I'd be like standing outside the headmaster's office or whatever, and then like a teacher that I know that likes me, they'll be like, Ryan, what you doing outside the office? And I'm like, oh, it's just a miscommunication. Something happened. And they're like, don't worry, I'll speak to them. Go back to class.
That's pretty cool.
So I had some cool teachers, and then there was there's always those odd teachers that you fucking hate. And you can see that they fucking hate their job. As well,
Name shall not be mentioned, but you're still in my black book.
So what does your family, going back to acting, like what does your family think about like what you do?
They think what I do right now super cool. I had a mom that did always believe in me, but I could have told her like the most ridiculous job on earth and she'd be like, you'd be good at that. She was incredibly supportive. I wasn't one of those kids that like just rolled out of my mother quoting Shakespeare, knowing that I desire a career in the dark arts. No, I wasn't like that. Although I was always entertaining as a child. We have copious amounts of videos showing it. I always loved being in front of the camera from when I was a
me too.
tot.
I was very much like that.
I was fascinated by it. I was comforted by it. I was just like, oh my gosh, yes, more.
Yeah. You see, I always known what I wanted to be.
Oh, that's cool.
I've always, always wanted to get into acting. Always wanted to do acting. So I've always, apart from acting, this is like in primary school. At one point, I was like, if I'm a bin man, I can get loads of cool shit. I'll find like loads of cool shit that I could build and
one
make
man's
shit.
Trash.
And then apart from that, it would be like I wanted to be like an archaeologist, only because of like Indiana Jones, and that was it. So apart from that, always wanted to be always wanted to be an actor.
So I was gonna say I can relate because like one week I would be like, oh, I want to be part of SWAT. Suraya, they don't have a SWAT team in South Africa. No, but it's fine. I'll go to America to be part of SWAT. And then like a week later, I want to be a fireman. I was very much a tomboy growing up. I want to be a professional soccer player. I want to be this. But every week I wanted to be something completely different. And I think that was a dead giveaway that I wanted to be an actress because you can play everything.
But as a kid, did you watch a lot of movies?
Yes, because here's a fun fact. And this is why I say, like, I think a part of me wanted to become an actress for my dad's approval because he loved movies. Back in the day, my grandfather and my dad used to own a cinema.
Okay.
Yes, but during apartheid,
Where's this?
it was taken away. This is in Pretoria.
The reason why I say it because in 70s and 80s, my gran also owned a chain of the Bioscope cinemas.
That's very cool.
That was like 70s, 80s.
That's pretty cool. So they could have crossed paths. Yeah, I mean, they could have like exchanged
could be
movies.
related.
Entirely, it looked just like you.
So like your mum and dad always like approved of, doing acting and shit.
I mean, it was that thing of
because like some parents go, we want you to be a doctor.
Yeah. No.
You
You want to be an actor. You spelled doctor wrong. It was never that case. I mean, like I said, I wanted to be so many things, and every week it would change. So they're just like, oh, okay, another one, kind of a thing. DJ Khaled, another one. But yeah, my mom was incredibly supportive. She's like, yo, if this is what you want to do, cool. However, plot twist. I dropped out of school. So in order to study drama, you need a what? Yeah, in South Africa, you need a matric certificate. I'll just explain. Yeah. You need to finish the school before you can study tertiary. Yeah, that's how it works. You didn't do that? No, I lied about it.
Okay.
I lied about it. And then they were hosting auditions.
Look where you are now. Look where you are today.
Just a model.
Just a model. Nothing but a fucking model.
Thank you so much.
Hands.
I have all of them.
So... yeah, and then like growing up, to come back to your like family and stuff. So you have a sister, right?
I have a sister.
So what was your like relationship growing up? Like, are you guys the same age or?
So she's 34. No, that's a lie. Yes, she's turning 30. Oh my goodness, bless her baby soul. She's getting so old. Yeah, she's 34. My sister is an amazing creature who was very quiet growing up. Her escape was always anime, and as a result, she's an incredible artist. She still has a very childlike wonder.
Did you get on well with it?
No, growing up, not so much.
But now you're like close.
Yeah, and I can be completely honest. My dad adored my sister, so I always, and she was head girl.
So did you get blamed for stuff?
No, it was just like a lot of jealousy. I'm like, I want what you have. Yeah. I want the relationship you have with dad. I want the confidence you have in school, because she was good academically as well as creatively, and I was just like, that kid that had to go to speech therapy because E's and A's looked the same to me. B's and D. I couldn't tell the difference between like a B and D and a P and a Q.
Are you dyslexic?
That's no backwards.
So I'm dyslexic.
So, I know. I've seen your texts.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you voice note for everything.
Yeah, I can voice note for everything. Like you know what? I could be a lot better. Yeah. Like I physically could have and wanted to take my time, but I'm always like, I can't be asked.
You text like a Y2K kid. It's just like abbreviations for everything.
Yeah. I just want to get to the point fucking straight away, and that's why I'll send like a voice note, because I'm always like. It's so like people in the UK, what I've noticed, friends in the UK, they fucking hate voice notes. They hate fucking voice notes.
It gives me mad anxiety.
And for me, I don't like a long voice note. Nobody likes a fucking long voice note. But it's so much quicker to press a button and just say what you need to say.
This is also
quickly.
very true. So if you guys ever receive a message from Ryan, it doesn't go, hey, how are you? It starts with like, so basically I'm doing this and I kind of need this. And I'm like, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. I'm fine.
Get to the point. Then you can just mess it back and go, yes, on it. Yes.
It's literally what I do.
But yeah, I mean, like for me, growing up with my brother, so he's like 2 years older than me. Mm. But obviously, like me and my brother got on like really well at times, but we also like fought. Like
the relationship between me and my brother as well. Also,
like when my folks broke up, I think it was like the last year of primary school, and it was like, for me, it was like a really hard time, you know, mum and dad breaking up. I didn't know any other friends that their mum and dad has broke up. So it was quite a thing at the time. And, you know, I remember like walking to school with my brother. We went to the same school. You know, your mum or your dad will go, okay, make sure Ryan walks with you and you can go to school. And my brother's like, get away from me. Stop, you know, stop following me. Just go with your friends and shit like that. It was fucking horrible. But like, I laugh at it now because, you know, it's like, it's brothers and sisters and brothers. It's like, it's a part of growing up.
No one gives you a cheat code of like, what's it like to have a sibling?
No.
Like, I always say to my siblings, what's up, roommates? Because, I mean, we basically grew in the same place, right? Looking back, some of the fights that we had were ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, me and my brother had like hectic. I remember my brother like punching me on the way to school because he didn't want me to walk with him. I remember he threw a bike at me.
Is that why you walk with the limb?
That's why I walk with the limb. And so yeah, like I love my brother, but like growing up, it was fucking hardcore. Like sometimes, and like I remember even like years later, we moved into a flat together, which was like the worst fucking thing like ever. Like we have a good relationship, but that was just like that like fucked up our relationship like a little bit because it would, you know, my brother would like come in and like this flat that we lived in, it was like fucking horrible. Like we fucking hated it. It was one of those flats where even if you tried to make it nice, you fucking couldn't. It's like, and I remember like there was a spider on the stairs the one night and my brother came back like drunk and he just got like an aerosol can and a lighter and just like flamethrowed the stairs. And I'm like shouting at him going, dude, this is where we live. You know, this is where we live. And I'm just like, and he's like, yeah, there's a fucking spider on the stairs. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then he would play all his like black metal music in his room, like getting fucking stoned with all his mates or whatever. And it like the music would be like really like loud. And then I can't hear anything. But then my sound system was better than his. So I would like turn up my shit and then he would get pissed off. And then I remember like the one day, like he ripped off my fucking bedroom door and threw it down the stairs.
He deserved it though.
Yeah. So,
you're trying to kill a party. I'm joking.
No, but it was like fucking hectic. It was like hectic. And then my brother's like a big guy. So like he's fucking strong. Yeah. So there was times where I couldn't like, there's no way I'm going to punch my brother. He would fucking punch me. But there'll be times where, you know, he wants to fucking punch, you know, he wants to punch me and then he'll just put his fist against my face.
Like
and I'd be like he can't do it. And I'm like, what, you want to hit your brother? You want to fucking hit your brother?
Oh, you played.
And he'd be like that. And then sometimes like, you know, he'd be standing there and he'd be dead fucking serious. And then I'd look at him and then I'd get my hand and go, kiss him on the lips with my hand just to piss him off. And he'd be like, oh, what the fuck you doing? And he'd get even more angry. And then, because like, anybody can say anything to me. Like, it doesn't get to me. It doesn't like hurt my feelings. But like my brother, like, he won't take like any shit, like whatsoever. Like, he won't take any shit. And that's why, like, because he was so big, there's no way I can like win him in a wrestling, you know, a little fight with him or whatever. So when I would be in his room, we would argue and he would grab me and he would like throw me against the wall. And then on purpose, what I would do is I'd go, ugh, and I'd grab his like post-it and go, I'd rip it down like it was by mistake. And my brother's like, what the fuck you doing? He'll pick me up and then he'll like throw me to the other side. And then I'd like knock all the shit off the table and he's just getting more and more angry. But I'm getting my revenge by knocking and ripping all his posters.
No, please don't hit me.
Yeah, it was literally that. So that was the... But
we
moved out in the end, so...
I was going to say, I've never been more grateful for my siblings up until this moment.
Yeah, but like my brother, we get on well. We get on super well. But living together, fucking hell, that was like... At that age as well, it was just like hectic.
It's funny that you mentioned the spider story and like, you know, the aerosol cans because my brother used to collect exotic pets. So he had a baby tarantula, and my mom and I were staying over at my brother's at the time. And obviously my mom is a very sturdy Portuguese woman. So if she sees a spider go boom, boom, you know, kind of a thing. So I just remember that so clearly. My brother walks into the room, but like tiptoeing. He's like, if you guys see a spider anywhere, don't kill it. Just call me. My mother doesn't say anything. She calls me into the bathroom. She closes the door and whispers to me, I have something to show you. And I'm like, Mom, what is it? What is it? I was too scared to move it and throw it away. I was going to ask you to... No. Then she lifts up like this toilet paper, like this lump of toilet paper that's in the bathroom. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what he was looking for. That's his baby. That's his everything. She's like, what do we do? Don't tell him.
Do you like mind like spiders and shit like that? Like if you're
I
sleeping.
am terrified of
Okay,
things.
so I don't mind fucking spiders and shit like that. But if I'm lying in bed and there's a fucking spider like sitting on the ceiling,
I'm moving out.
I'm not gonna fucking sit there until it's gone.
I'm moving out.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of when I see a spider. I'm scared when the spider disappears.
Yeah.
And then, you Google things like how to remove a spider safely from your home. The human being has swallowed up to 9 spiders in their sleep. And I'm like, Google, why would you tell me that? Like, why would you?
Yeah, that's horrible.
No, but coming back to the whole sibling thing, growing up, hated them, as everyone does. But also, I realized, I'm the drama. I'm overly sensitive and take everything a bit too personal. But it's my best friends that are my roommates.
So let's talk about Last Broken Darkness. So that's how we originally...
Broken Darkness. It's on IMDb. Broken Darkness.
Last Broken Darkness, a.k.a.
LBD.
LBD.
Oh.
Or Broken Darkness.
Fuck. Broken Darkness. Broken ankles. Was there a bug in the store?
There's a bug. Okay, it's gone.
Stop biting me, Ryan. I'm fine. Strong.
So yeah, let's talk about Last Broken Darkness. That's how we met. But that was cool. That was a cool experience.
Yeah. It was my first leading role. Very, very exciting. Learned a lot on that set thanks to you guys. I remember Sean, he will deny he made this joke, but you know how we always banter on set. He came up to me one day, he's like, is this your first film? And I'm like, yes. It's like, I can tell. Very optimistic. I remember, you were there.
I think it was. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That is the type of thing that Sean would say.
It was great. He'll deny it till today. He denies. He's like, I never said that. I'm like, yes, you did.
Just did it just before you take a shot. Just before you take a shot.
But it was amazing for me because I grew up watching, not to make them sound old or anything, but they respected in the craft. I grew up with people like Sean Cameron Michael, watching him, Brandon Norette, Jonathan Pinar.
Yeah,
Mr.
there's so many
Clark.
good actors in that movie. So many.
And then there's me.
And then there's you. Good model.
Oh, funny enough, my mom actually got me in touch with Chris.
Okay. I know you told me this story.
Yeah. Which is
because when
cool.
you did a play.
I did a play, invited Chris to come and watch. Lied and said we were a long lost family. We're not family. I'm kidding. That never happened.
So I remember. So in Last Broken Darkness, I played those 2 different roles.
Oh yeah.
So when we were doing that, I spent a lot of time with you.
As the one character.
As the good guy.
Yeah.
And then
what is his name? Ghost.
Ghost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I played the bad guy.
Lone man.
Because Chris, the director, he didn't want us to interact. He wanted you to be like scared and all that. And
we were rebellious. And we didn't listen to our director.
And but it was cool. Like we chatted here and there. But then soon as I put the makeup, so I had these like fake teeth, I had this black hair and this beard and
that was the moment that I also made the decision of not looking at you. I would not even look at you while walking past.
So as soon as the makeup was on, because we were chatting as the other role anyway. So as soon as I put the makeup on, then we went talking. I was like, ask them where you are, and they're like, oh, she's around the corner. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the thing of I didn't want to see what you look like.
And it was like for me that role, I still love I still love that movie. It's definitely one of my favorite like South African movies without a doubt. And very talented director, great cast, and I love the part that I did. For the bad guy.
You terrified.
And it was we had like 2 like hectic scenes, but the one hectic scene was that like attempted like rape scene. So that's like quite hectic for any actor.
To portray it's like always a woman's or it's always a person's worst fear. But I do love how every time after a take, everyone would run. Would you want to tell it rather? Yeah, you do it way better.
So but actually, just before we get into that, I think. So, we're doing this, I had to do that attempted rape scene with you and like knock all the shit off the table, grab you and like bend you over the table. But I'm trying to think now. I think we roughly went through it, didn't we?
So, it was more like Mickey Mouse being like, okay, cool, I'm going to take you from here. It was just like a safety precaution that we did and also knowing where each other's limits were. You just wanted to know, okay, what's going to be too much for me, etc., what I'm comfortable with. So, we did like a Mickey Mouse run and then on the day... it turned into something else on the day. But also,
what do you mean it turned into
no.
something else?
Okay, so first
What
of
does
all,
that mean?
I don't know if you remember.
Turned into a fucking rape. Like, we didn't go that far.
Not like that. I mean, it's different.
Yeah, because we spoke about it like, okay, we're going to do this and this and this. And then obviously, that's like that dry run.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if you remember, but there was, well, obviously at the beginning of every scene, tied up to a chair, Johnny comes in, he says what he has to say, and then he cuts me loose. In one of the takes, Johnny actually ended up cutting himself.
Oh, shit. No.
Yeah,
no.
so I don't think he realized either because he was so in character. And it was just like so part of the moment. And I just remember just watching the blood run down his hand, which just added for me. And then after that, seeing your character walk in, it was just like when I was hyperventilating, I don't think I was acting.
And Johnny's such a great actor. He's so
good.
Yeah, he's so like intense and he's great. Like such a great
with those
character
cowboy
actor.
boots. Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's fucking Johnny. That's what Johnny like fucking wears. He's got his long leather jacket and his cowboy boots. That's Johnny. But then when we did that like attempted rape scene, like I never forget. So for me, it's one of those things where we did the take. Chris called cut, and then I was like lying on the floor with my fucking pants down with my ass hanging out.
I have people running over, giving me blankets, holding me.
Everybody's running over to you, going, "Oh my God, Suraya, are you okay?" And I remember getting up and somebody pushing past me, and they were giving you a blanket, going, "Oh, are you okay? Are you okay?" And looking back at me, going, "Oh, you fucking bastard, you fucking did this." And I was just like standing there, going, oh, "Fucking hell, that was intense for me as well." Fucking hell, like somebody give me a blanket and somebody come up to me going, "Ryan, are you okay?" So it's because I mean, when you're doing it, it's like it's so much energy. Like we were like exhausted after that.
We only did 3 takes,
and it was just that like energy and everything, and it was fucking hectic. But it was just funny how everybody went to you, and it was just like I was left there, and the way they looked at me as if I like did something to you, going, "Oh, you fucking did this." And I was like, "Oh, I'm fucking traumatized as well."
I wish you turned to them and go and went, "It's called acting."
It's called acting.
Kind of a thing.
Should have done that. Yeah. Didn't do that.
Should.
But it was cool.
Next time you know.
But we nailed it.
Yeah. You didn't nail me in the scene.
But if you remember, like I had my ass hanging out, lying on the floor. So that was funny.
Yeah,
cool.
no, that was hilarious.
I think there was an ass shot there, wasn't it?
So I think there was like 3 takes. There was one with ass and one without ass.
And what did we go for? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. We're gonna have to.
Yes,
movie nights.
We'll put it up on the screen.
Just have your ass shot right there. Boom, boom, boom. But also, it was like one take, even on the close up on the side. It was 2 cameras set up, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm like looking at the other takes with my close up and everything. I'm like, damn. It's intense. I can't actually watch it without getting like a...
I haven't seen it in a while. I got to check it out again.
Yeah.
And then...
We did something cool.
Yeah, and I was thinking... So, I mean, knowing, you wanted to do acting like as a kid, and then now, over the years, doing what you love doing, and we've spoke about this before, where it's, like when we spoke about it, it's like, oh, we've made it. Made it in a sense of...
We're living our dreams.
Yeah, we're living our dream. We're doing what we love doing, what we've always wanted to do.
The worst is when someone comes up to you and they are like, "So why don't you go to Hollywood? When are you going to Hollywood? When are you going to LA?" I'm like, I'm on local television. For me, that's a big deal. I'm on something I grew up watching.
Yeah.
I get to pay my rent money with my job, which is acting.
Yeah.
I hate that people still call me an aspiring actress.
You just started out.
Yeah. According to most people, I feel like I should be in a Viagra commercial because I've been a rising star for the last 8 years.
So I remember like when I just started, I did my acting schools and shit like that, acting classes. But I remember, starting to do like extra work for the first time. And the reason why at that time, I did extra work, because I was actually wanted to do the extra work for directing and seeing how a set works. But also as an extra, here and there, because I wanted to do acting, here or there, I get like a little featured part, or I get a few lines, and you get bumped up and you get paid more money. And so that was cool, like, every now and then to do that. But I remember also at that age, like if you're ever out, like in a bar, and you meet somebody and be like, "Oh, what do you do?" And really, I work in a clothes shop at the time. And I'm like, "I'm an actor," And it's so funny, like, you realize what you're doing back then, compared to what you're doing now, and you're like, fucking hell, you're just this fucking kid sitting there thinking, I'm an actor.
I'm talking
Really,
pop.
I had like one line, in whatever, and it was. But again, like that taught me a lot being on set, watching how a set works, and that was kind of a bit of my like film school of seeing how a professional set runs, and
you didn't quit?
and then apart from that, it was like making all these like films with my friends when I got my first camera and all that. So that was like my main film school, and then checking out how it works on set.
You got experience through experience.
Yeah, like I got a lot of experience. Just there was lots of stuff that I didn't know the names of or what it was called, but I was like shooting all my own like little films. I must have made like about 300 of them, but they were all like fucking terrible. We all had like American accents. We all shooting guns and fighting, and you would. It's funny because you would like watch it. I'll put like it's all on VHS, and I would look back and watch it, and I go, yeah, he saw The Matrix that week, or he saw
because you walk away with that main character energy.
Yeah. No, but it was just like you can see there's like references from like, oh, he just watched Sixth Sense, or he just watched The Matrix.
But to be fair, sorry to divert, but to be fair, in everything that you make, there is references to stuff that inspires you, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. But it was just like I said, they were all fucking terrible. There was like one little good thing in every shit film that I did, but then at one point I got like all the cool ideas from all the films and then put that together and then made like my first cool film. Still shit, but it was cool, So
just compact it into a trailer.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so yeah, I started doing the extra work, getting featured parts, and then I started auditioning for a few things, got a few small parts. But even like just before then, there was a movie called The 51st State with Robert Carlyle and Samuel L. Jackson, and I knew that they were filming in this one building in Liverpool. And I think it was my mum worked in that building or worked next to it. Because of the style of the building, I dressed accordingly to that. And I just turned up because I knew that they were filming that day. So when I turned up, they said, oh, you can't come through here. And I was like, oh, no, it's I'm with such and such a casting. So they were like, oh, okay, cool. So they let me there and I got on the...
crashed
so I crashed. That was actually my second movie film that I crashed. And the funny thing was that I was on it for, I think, four days or something like this. And I knew that they said to me, you've got to sign in because, we've got to sign in so they know that you're there. And I remember they said, sign in. But I knew if I signed in, I'd be fucked because they know that I'm not supposed to be there. And they said, if you don't sign in, you're not going to get paid. And I was like, oh, don't need money. I'm all right. Because I knew, like, I'm fucked if I signed that. But then the scene that I was in was in this like lobby scene. So in the end, they needed me for continuity. So I didn't write my name down, or I wouldn't have, would have been caught. But then I spent like 4 days with Robert Carlyle and Samuel L. Jackson. Wasn't supposed to be there. Had lunch with them and everything. Like, fuck, it's cool. Even the writer, like, I stayed in. Actually, I don't even know if this writer knows the story, but I ended up being friends with the writer. I'm still talking to him today. And then the film before that was The Parole Officer with Steve Coogan and like Omar Sharif. And me and my cousin, it was a big protester scene in Liverpool outside a bank. And we turned up there and I said to my cousin, oh, we just say we're part of the extras. So they blocked off the road, they let us in. And then they're busy doing the scene and the Steadicam comes past and it's like, there's a massive like close up of me and my cousin in the film. And we were there for like the whole day and they didn't even know. So that like the first two films we just like snuck on set, which was quite funny and quite interesting. And just stand next to Samuel L. Jackson or having lunch there going, how fucking crazy is this?
I mean, bro, your story is so much better than mine. I learned Afrikaans to be an usher at a festival in Potchefstroom called Aardklop. Aardklop. So I learned Afrikaans to communicate with everyone so I can show people where to sit. I still ended up talking English. I used to be an usher.
Listen.
I used to be an usher and I used to scrape gum off of like the theatre seats and then I was promoted to stagehands. I was so excited. I used stagehand for Derby Grenier in one of his plays at the Breitenbach Theatre in Pretoria.
Came on with the table,
yeah.
walked off.
No, I didn't even get to make it onto the actual stage. I was stage hands on the side.
You were the
that were
help.
Just,
You were the help.
I was the stage hands. You know what I mean?
Stage hands. Assistant to stage hands.
Literally. And then after that, I started doing extra work when I was probably in my second year. And something amazing happened on a music video once where I went in to be an extra. The lead saw me. The dude whose music video saw me and everything.
We want her.
Like literally, and I felt so bad because they had taken, so it's now a triangle love story, where before it was just a love story between the singer and this girl, and then they saw me having like, you know, my moment, being in my element, and they're like, actually, let's use this. And that was like my first feature kind of a thing. Yeah, again, something that my mom had just set up. And then my first actual role ever in something was, well, it was also a featured extra as a waitress in a movie called Run or Die.
Okay.
And I had to speak French.
Oh, shit. That's
but
hard.
Yeah, it was super hard. I spent like 3 weeks learning it, everything.
Yeah,
Okay,
learning different languages.
Yes, no, you know, I had it in everything. And then we Google translated what it means. Okay, it was before Google Translate. We use dictionary, what it means, everything. And on the day, now I have the lines in my head. The director calls action. I then say the entire dialogue in English with a French accent. I don't know. It just kind of happens. But he also goes, I love your bold choice.
But we're not going to go for that. We want this.
No, they kept it, I think.
Okay.
I'd never seen the movie, but I think they kept it. But when a director goes, you know, you have two types of directors. You have the one that goes, that was great, but then you know,
like this,
then you know you have to listen to them. Or if they go
5% less.
Yeah, which is you.
more.
Every time we work together, they're like, okay, that was lovely, but what I want this take.
We'll try this.
Yeah, so when your director gives you a compliment and then no notes afterwards, you're like, I bagged it.
Yeah.
And then probably edited it out and be like, it's fine. We'll just have the coffees already there.
You know, I think we've all done, you know, in this industry, you know, we've done work that we're not proud of. And, you know, we've done work that we're either not proud of or we're starting out and we're learning and maybe we got lucky, you know, getting a part of something or thinking you were good when you were starting out and you look back and you go, oh, that was like dreadful. I was like terrible. So it's, you know, it's all about, you know, starting out. And it's one of those things where, you know, I think failing is a part of the
process.
The process. And if you've never failed, then you never really tried.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, and that's with like experience. And that's why I always say, like, you know where to stand and know your place. Because you've got, you know, you're working with, you know, when you're starting out, you're working with all these people that, like, as a director, I know when somebody hasn't got experience. You can see it. Like, and also as actors, we can see it from a mile away. You know, somebody might talk a big game, but you can see that that they're not they haven't got as much experience, because it's not just about knowing the accent, knowing how to act. You know,
there's so much technical aspects behind it that people don't get it.
Working with the DP and everything. There's like so much stuff.
So how I like to describe it to people that go, oh my gosh, you're an actress. Like, I've always wanted to be an actor. What's it like? And I like to describe every part that you get is like a relationship, where no matter if the relationship was great or ended badly, you always give a certain part of yourself to it. And sometimes it's a lesson, and other times you just don't want to talk about it, like ever. You just like cringe and be like, "Could we not?" Like ever.
But it's all experience, and it's you know, every you know, greatest insight is, you know, from error or failure, to learn from that, to be better, and to look back. And that's why, you know, we were saying earlier, like, do you watch your work? You know.
So in the beginning, I didn't. But I honestly believe it was just ego, and I couldn't separate going, oh my gosh, why does my hair look like that? Why does my lips? It was a superficial
So it doesn't
thing.
bother you now? You don't look
No,
at it?
now I look at it from a performance aspect. I'm like, you look the way you look. And the most important thing is, are you living truthfully to the character? And I think that is
some actors don't like to look.
And I get it. I completely understand it. Like, I know how the movie ends.
I need to look. And I think it's probably because I do directing as well as acting. So it's like, I need to look to see what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right or what I need to do more of. Obviously, you got that director to tell you, but you obviously know by looking at it that you can go, fuck, okay, why am I doing that? Or
Yeah.
why am I doing that?
No,
There's
that's,
little things
that's
that you pick
definitely
up on.
like now, it's always that thing of where you are currently versus what you've done in the past, because everything's always in the past. And you go, why didn't I make that? Why did my director allow me to make that decision as well?
This is the thing. You need to screw up. You need to screw up
Yeah,
to learn.
very true.
And that's the thing. Or for some,
But it's not guaranteed that you won't make the same mistake again.
yeah, and then that happens, and that's part of the learning process. But that's why I also think. I mean, like we all make mistakes. We're all human. But at the same time, when you're younger and you're starting out, you can make those mistakes. Okay, maybe you're on some bigger stuff by luck that you did or whatever. But it gets to a point in your career where I think we both are now, where we can't afford to make mistakes. We can't afford to make mistakes. We've got to be on our A game, and we've got to know what the fuck we're doing.
But here's my argument, right? Like walking onto set, knowing what you just said, like, oh, I can't afford it this time, etc. It's also allowing yourself, because
And every set's different,
Yeah,
That's the thing. Cruise and atmosphere.
All I can say is, if you're going to make a mistake, commit to the mistake, because something amazing might happen within the take.
Yeah.
So it's all about, even if you know you're going to fuck up, just commit to it. Commit to the fuck up, because you never know about the magic that's going to happen.
Yeah. But that's why I like improv.
Yeah, improv is not strong.
Amazing. And there's lots of actors that don't like improv which is crazy, because I think that's where like
the true form
and magic
of the craft lies.
Just comes out.
Entirely.
And,
like we improv this entire thing right now.
exactly. But it was great to talk to you.
It was great to listen to
I
you.
think we've covered a lot of subjects.
Yeah.
But until the next time.
Until next time.
Model.
Actor. Thank you for acknowledging me as an actor, model, and not the other way around.
Okay. Slash model.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
That's it.
Sweet. Can I just get 30 seconds of you guys looking like really interested?
Okay. So we both go at the same time. We're just going to stare at each other.
Yeah.
Should try not to laugh.
So, no. When he laughs, can I laugh?
Yeah.
I'm not going to
So
lie.
we'll have like some smiles.
You're not funny. I'm not going to lie. Okay, let's start. So it's just listening, basically.
Yeah, just look. It's not even listening. It's just like looking like you're listening, just to give us a cutting point.
I love how you say listening and this is what we do.
Wow. Fishes!